like to thank everyone for coming today. It's a very difficult day for all loved ones, my family. It helps that we're surrounded by people that are important to us, people that we consider family, loved ones. Thank you. Thank you so much. As I stand here today, it makes me realize that life is so transitional. It's like a river. You can't touch the same water twice. The moment's passed. My mom, Cora Yearwood, I often wonder if, as growing up here in Tacoma in her life, ever realized how many people her life was going to touch through her 95 years. Starting out obviously as a child and growing up, meeting Alma Yearwood, getting married, moving to Chicago. Started out pretty simple life. And along came Curtis, Sandra, Letha, Greg, then Jeff, Robert, Oscar, Sabrina, Tom. Then we go into 19 grandchildren and 25 great-grandchildren. I try to remember everybody, but honestly, I can't. I don't want to leave anybody out, so it's a little hard for me to go through all of it. And a dear friend of the family and a family member sent me something that I would like to read. They sent me, and I think this sums up a lot of how I feel and how we feel together. It says, "A limb has fallen from the family tree. I keep hearing a voice that says, 'Grieve not for me.' Remember the best times, the laughter, the song. The good life I lived while I was strong. Continue my heritage. I'm counting on you. Keep smiling, and surely the sun will shine through. My mind at ease, my soul is at rest, remembering all, how I truly was blessed. Continue traditions, no matter how small. Go on with your life. Don't worry about falls. I miss you all dearly, so keep up your chin until the day comes we're together again. I truly believe my mom, Cora Yearwood, dedicated her life to Christ and to living a Christian life. I think she led a great example, and the people that she touched, including everyone here and countless others through her family, the children she adopted, her foster children, the daycare center she ran, so many lives she touched and led what I believe to be a good Christian life. When I think of the teachings of Christ, of being honorable, compassionate, kind, giving of oneself, I think she personified what it means to be Christ-like and be Christian, and that we could all try to learn and be an example, kind to each other, be compassionate. You know, although she's gone, she'll live on through all of us, through her children, through her grandchildren, through her great-grandchildren. I miss her dearly already. This is a very difficult day for all of us, very hard. So I just want to thank everyone again. Thank you so much for being here and just professing my love for my mom, the example she led. And I really truly believe that she is in heaven and her beliefs carried her through. She dedicated her life to her beliefs. And we're all here in honor of her. So please keep her in your prayers, keep us in your prayers also. And it was a beautiful life, no regrets. So we're going to have a few people speak, and I just like to keep in mind, you know, although it's a sad occasion, we're here as a celebration of her life. We're going to have a few people speak. Feel free to share some joyous stories. I remember, as I'm talking, a few of my own, just what a mother truly is. I remember it was, as a child, we had a house full of people. There were people living with us, other single mothers that my mom and dad took in that needed help. They were always there, willing to give a helping hand. And for some reason, it just sticks out in my head that we were at the 5 and dime store, and I just threw a fit that I had to have a Hot Wheels car. It seems so trivial now and just stupid. And, you know, I didn't realize as a child money was tight. We had a lot of people living with us. We didn't have a lot. And to realize that my mom put my wants before her needs, what a true mother is. I once asked her to, you know, how many times she put her needs before her children's wants. She would never tell me. She said it was all worth it. You know, that's truly, truly being a mother, a parent, a grandmother, a great-grandmother. And I remember my mom and dad always saying that their hope was that the next generation does better than them. That's truly being a parent. And as I look around, their offspring, that has happened. Everything they prayed for, they asked for, they hoped for, they raised a lot of great people, and we've all lived a better life because of them. You know? So, with that said, I know a few more people want to say a few things. I had this all memorized in my poor memory. I believe our son, Oscar, the beloved bud, would like to say a few words. Like I say, feel free to share some stories, some laughter. We're here to shed some tears and share some laughs and joyous stories.
All right, how's it going? I'll try to keep it light. So, me and my 2 nieces, Autumn and Rebecca, camped out in Mom's room for, I said light, but, so we camped out in Mom's room for, I want to say 5 or 7 days, night and day. And, you know, just taking breaks. You know, as long as you're taking a break, I get 2 breaks to their 1, because I'm older. But, you know, her last day, she could barely speak. And, you know, me and her had our moment. She kind of reached up to me and like, help me. You know, Oscar, help me. So I kind of leaned into her. And we're having this real precious moment. I'm like, what, Mom? And she goes, you're crushing my legs. I looked down and sure enough, I'm laying across her legs. And I felt sorry, Mom. But then towards the end, you know, she could communicate the best she could. You know, you could lean down and say, I love you, Mom. And she could kind of either squeeze your hand or kind of just mouth the words, I love you. But in saying that, you know, she is the foundation of this family. You know, when Pop passed, he was the pillars, and the pillars were on the foundation. So, in losing Mom, we've lost the greatest part of this family. So, in saying that, thank you guys.
Thank you, Oscar. I do have to say, too, when I think about compassion, I just had to add, I've seen so many acts of compassion and kindness. The last week, a memory that will truly live on for me was when I last saw my mom living, to see the great grandkids. I'd all drugged their mattresses in, and we're laying on the bed with her, laying all around her to be with her, and the kindness, even the great grandkids and compassion as teenagers. And I think of myself as a teenager, I was lacking, certainly, it was just so touching. It was so touching, the love and the outpouring that I've seen from each and every one of you, from Zandra, Rebecca, the grandchildren, all of you. If I don't mention you by name, I certainly don't mean any offense. I've seen so many acts of kindness. It's amazing. I have to go back to my agenda here. We'd like to thank the Rogers family also. They've been such a big part of our lives. Thank you so much. You have been just wonderful throughout the years, being part of our extended family, our family in Christ. Thank you for being here. Wendy saying you're going to sing a couple of songs, and just wanted to say thank you.
God sent His Son. They call Him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He bled and died to buy my pardon
this was one of the favorite songs. But for those that don't know, we were traveling and singing out on the road, and I became pregnant, and so we moved back here to Georgia, and we were still traveling, but we started working with other people that, other than the guy we was working with. And this friend of ours took us to Toccoa. He said, I'm gonna preach, I'll go sing with me. And we was like, okay. So we come up here and we met the Yearwoods that day, and I was expecting Aaron, my oldest, and he is 46. I don't know how old he is. I got 5 kids, 15 grandkids. I think he's 45 or 46, but I was expecting, so it's been 46 years since we met the Yearwoods. And we just kind of clicked. Phyllis was singing with us. This is my sister. And she was singing with us back then. And we started, Brother Year was like, y'all come every month. So we started coming every month, the same Sunday night, and singing for them every month. And we did that for years. And they took us to Chicago, and we rode. Aaron had already been born by then, and I was expecting another one. And we rode with Sister Yearwood in her Cadillac, and you don't stop at McDonald's, you carry a thing with a bunch of sandwich meat in it, you know? And you eat on the way. In the car, you don't stop to eat the sandwich, you make it in the vehicle, you know? And so Aaron was, and there was no car seats, of course, back then, so he was over the front and into the back. I was at the front, Steve was in the back, Sister Yearwood was driving. So he was like, back and forth, and she'd say, sit down, you know. He would sit down for a little bit, and he'd go back to the back, and he'd come to the front, and back to the front. So we drove with her, and it took a long time, because the speed limit was low back then too, you know. I think, seems like we were in the car 18 hours, I don't remember, it was a long time. I don't remember how we got there so long, but anyway, when we got there, we saw the places and the things that they'd done, and at the time we didn't even have a home because we were just ministering and living, you know, we hadn't tried to build anything or do anything. And they showed us that, I'm really nervous, my voice is shaking, and plus I've been crying, and it's like hard to sing when you've been crying. But anyway, she showed us all those apartment rooms. She had sewed all those curtains and made them out of sheets and covered up every little kitchenette, and then they'd pull it back and use the kitchenette and cover it up, and had a beautiful bed. All the sheets and covers matched, and she had done all that work on 30-something apartments, I believe it was, in that building. And I was just amazed, you know. She said, I picked up these couches in the alleys up here that were thrown away. And they'd just been thrown away, and she said I would carry them one at a time back to Georgia and have some kinfolks recover it and take it back up to Chicago, and she put a little couch in each room, you know, and it just inspired me. I mean, I felt inspired to do, we can do this. You know, we don't have no money, but we can do it. And so we came back down here, and we just started doing little by little. We decided to build a church. And Brother Yearwood was kind of, he would help you, but you had to show you were going to do something first. You know what I mean? So he said, you get that building up to the rafters, and all about the rafters. So we did it, you know, and the bank wouldn't give us no money, because we didn't have no money. And they were like, how many members you got? We got 15 members. You want us to give you money? No. So we had to do it with no money. And so we got it up there. He brought those rafters down, and they left one on. And he made a trip all the way back up. We were down below Oconee County. And he made a trip all the way back up and picked that one rafter up and brought it back to us. And so, yeah, the same day. And so, you know, we just had such a good relationship with him. We've stayed in the apartments and stayed in their house. And up in Chicago, Greg let us watch. We didn't watch a lot of movies, but he let us watch Escape from New York. In the basement, they had all this video set up, you know, the TV and everything. And it was like, wow, Escape from New York. Now I think it's really coming true. But anyway, but we we just loved them, you know, and we got along good, we worked together good, and Sister Yearwood would make big pot of tomato soup like this and grilled cheese sandwiches for all those kids. Because I had 4 kids of my own, and then I had another one later, but I had 4 kids at that time, and she was just make those sandwiches and grandkids, and I don't remember how many kids were around. There was kids everywhere. We had kids everywhere. And so I remember that's how she fed them, and I was like, that's a good idea. So I do that at home too. So anyway, so many memories that almost 50 years, you know, it's a lot to tell, and I know all y'all have a lot to say too, but I just wanted to say that we really love and appreciate them, and we love and appreciate y'all too. And feel your pain, and I know she'll be greatly missed. And I'm going to try to sing this song, and if I can't hit it or something, don't forgive me. The sun was hot, an angry mob stood by a gray stone railing, while a man draped in velvet with a curly black beard stood out on his balcony, nervously washing his hands to rid him of the blood that he would never wash away. His wrinkled brow showed a worried line. Then I heard Pilate say, I
so much. Those were some of my mom's favorite songs. Thank you. Oh, so many memories. Thank you for sharing those with me. It was very touching. Thank you. I'd like to ask Peter Harry Trout III. The third. Peter Harry Trout III. Excuse me.
There was once a time when we would carry a Bible for speaking. I got a cell phone.
Hey guys, I got all my people here. All my people, just about. All right. First of all, Grandma loved everybody in this building, and I know she loved you all because Christ loves you all, and she wanted each of us to know that Christ loved each of us. And unfortunately, I wanted to kind of bow out of this badly. I can't tell you how bad. Don't particularly like these things. I'd rather avoid them at all costs, but I can't avoid them. It's going to happen. We're going to face life. And in Grandma's 95 years of life, she lived a victorious life. She stood for what was right, and she didn't back off of it. And I'm grateful for that, because that's a legacy that we have an opportunity to carry on. I have one verse of scripture that I think speaks for her right now. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. Paul the Apostle was also a believer in Jesus Christ, as my grandmother, and he had gone through a lot of things in life. My grandmother went through a lot of things in life, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of tremendous heartache. We all go through these things. But it's how we come out of it. That's where we stand when we get on the other side of it. And this is what I got from it. It says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. Not only me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. Meaning every last one of you guys. He's not willing that any one of us could go into eternity without knowing him. And my grandmother would push. She would push. She would intentionally push so that you got to that point. She didn't want you to go into eternity not knowing Jesus Christ and have a personal relationship with him. In the world we live in today, we would like to just kind of brush it off and get through life. Get our focus here, get our focus there. But at the end of the day, when we breathe our last breath, we better know where we're going. Now, my grandmother knew where she was going. And I guarantee you she's there right now. I want us all to be there together. She loved you all. I made a little thing here about 3 pages I joked. Kurt said, you better cut it short. So I said, well, I'll just go right off the cuff. So might not be 3 pages worth. So all right, Jeff, whatever. I'm gonna give you a little dose of some of it.
There's no time.
I got you, bro. The only thing I think also I felt like needed to be mentioned. Life is not always a gravy train. It's got some really tough hills to climb and some difficult things that we have to go through that are very, sometimes unexpected and hard. People here have really poured their hearts and lives into supporting Grandma. And
especially my baby sister Rebecca. She dedicated years of her life doing what my grandmother would have to do. And I want to thank you for that, Rebecca. I thank each one of my loved ones who took away from their families to support my grandmother's beliefs. They go unnoticed a lot of times, but a lot of people here have contributed for the work that my grandparents started, and I want to thank each one of you for that. I'm grateful for that. She wanted to pull a certain boldness out of us, you know, to stand up for something, and when I got to hear my Uncle Oscar speak, I was so proud because people that wouldn't have a voice had a voice with my grandmother. My grandmother absolutely loved her children, and she wanted them to have a voice, and she wanted each of us to have a voice and speak up and not to stand by. So let's all continue down that path. Let's, in her memory and honor of her life, let's stand up for ourselves. Let's stand up for our faith and not back down. And let the rest of the world go by. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Looked at this thing 100 times. You think I know it by now. Some of the great grandchildren, the girls, are going to have a song for us.
So, my name's Avery. If you guys don't know me, I'm John Mommy's daughter, and Grandma was, well, I'm her great-granddaughter. And my grandma was one of the most God-loving, compassionate people that I have ever met. Whenever she would walk into the room, she could always light it up with her smile. And one of my favorite memories was when we always used to go to McDonald's after church on Sundays. And we would always get the hot cakes and sausage breakfasts, about 10 of them, and we would all split them up. And then after we ate, we would always go up to all the kids in the McDonald's and give them their $2 bills. And I just love my grandma and papa so much because they were always so compassionate. And even though this is so heartbreaking, I feel like it's also bringing our family closer together. And I'm just proud of everyone here because I know that Grandma's looking at us from heaven. And I can't wait to be there with her.
Hi, I'm Grandma's granddaughter, and I'm the child of Rebecca Sharp. I know today is sad, but Grandma is in heaven. We all miss her, and when I would come back from school, she would say, "Give me some sugar." She used to give us love pats, and it felt like she was spanking us. She didn't really mean that. This is one to 10 God has created so many people and loved us all. Grandma was one of them who loved him back. Her love for him was incredible, and it still is in heaven. I will never forget Grandma's legacy and how she has impacted our family generations so much in many ways. ways that I cannot explain. She loves all of us right here in this room and will never stop loving us. Her love is contagious and it will always be. And we all can't forget that her with her, I love what she does. She had a passion for her, she does. If she could see all of us gathered here today to celebrate her, she would be honored. But this won't be the last time we'll see her. Don't worry, we'll see her in heaven. Thank you. Grandma is loved by so many people. She will always love everyone here. But Grandma loved God most of all. And she has always wanted to see God, and He will be working miracles. She loves the flavored water in her strawberry lollipops. Grandma has had a big legacy to teach everyone follow the Lord's footsteps, and she is going to follow the Lord's footsteps in her heavenly heels.
Oh man, I don't know how I follow that. That was wonderful. Get a little choked up there. Just speaks to the compassion that she had. That, you know, never be afraid to tell someone you love them. Oh, I don't envy you, Lonnie, but you know, I believe you're next. You got a hard act to follow there. You've raised some great children there, Lonnie, Rebecca.
I had to write mine on the phone. Got a little too emotional writing it, so I'm going to be reading a little bit. I'm sorry. Got to avoid making eye contact with my wife. So today we're gathered here to say goodbye to one of the most beautiful and loving persons that I know. We call her Grandma. It's hard to put into words the deep love she had for each one of us, but I do want to highlight the three things that I remember most about Grandma. First, Grandma's love for God and her family was unmatched. Her relationship with Christ wasn't just something that she spoke about, it was something that was a guiding force for her entire life. She lived out her faith in ways that we saw how she treated others, always showing grace, kindness, and understanding, and most importantly, love. Remember the first time I met Grandma, and she picked me up from the airport. She started sprinting towards me in her 5-inch stilettos as soon as she saw me walking from the terminal. She proceeded to hug me and hold me tight before I even got to introduce myself. On the way home from the airport, she spent the entire time talking to me about God, my faith, my interests, and her granddaughter as we were going 115 miles an hour. Although this experience made me a little nervous during different times throughout the night, it was one of the most special memories I've had with Grandma. Her willingness to love me like a grandson the first time she ever met me. No judgment, no hesitation, all love, and that was Grandma. Second thing I cherish about Grandma is her serving heart. It didn't matter if you were family, a friend, or a stranger. Grandma made you feel seen, valued, and loved. This translated into her serving others, no matter what the sacrifice was. I just want to mention, I did not know Pete's speech here, so. Her house was always open, and she was the first to bring a meal, offer a hug, or sit and listen when someone needed it. Her generosity knew no bounds, and she gave from her heart, expecting nothing in return. I remember one of the first few trips I was up here, I was dealing with an issue at school, back at home, and she could tell I was stressed. she asked me to come over here. She put a pillow on her lap, grabbed a letter opener. I started to reflect on whether I was having too much PDA with Z or what was about to go down. She told me to put my head down on her lap and pull up my shirt and back. She spent the next hour tickling me. While this was super out of my comfort zone, to this day I still get made fun of by most of the family. I certainly wasn't going to argue. From that trip on, I figured out a way to be stressed out at least twice a trip when I was near Grandma for the next 10 plus years. I wore my tickle time like a badge of honor and shared the joy I got with all of my friends back at home. And although this is just a small and specific example of Grandma's serving heart, I always remember how she taught me and taught all of us in here that true joy comes from serving others and living with an open heart. And finally, who could forget her smile? A smile I always see and remember through my wife's smile. Grandma had a way of lighting up a room. It was warm, genuine, and full of life. When she smiled, she couldn't help but make everybody feel better, no matter what was going on. It was a reflection of the love and joy she carried within her. And that smile will live in our memories forever. And although I will never forget her beautiful smile when she pointed out how much she hated my beard, or when she asked me to get her just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of ice cream from a place in New Smyrna, Frozen Gold, and I brought her back the 1 pound banana split challenge. I always treasure that smile, but it compares nothing to the smile she gave when she spoke about her family, and when she saw the chaos going on at Thanksgiving, when all the great grandkids got together, or when she spoke about today, this day, and going back to heaven to be with Papa again. As we say goodbye to Grandma today, we will carry her legacy that she leaves behind, and that she touched thousands of people in her lifetime. A legacy of faith, love, service, and joy. Her life was a beautiful example of what it means to walk with God and love people well. Though she's no longer with us physically, her spirit lives on in each of us. We can honor her by continuing to live out the lessons she taught all of us. To love deeply, to serve others, and to keep our faith strong. Grandma, we love you, we miss you, and we will carry your light always until we meet again in heaven.
Thank you, Lonnie. I'm going to go a little off itinerary here right now. I've been enjoying, it's been heartfelt, so many people talking. If there was anybody that else wanted to share any stories or any memories, I'd like to give you the opportunity to, because there's something I remind myself of every day. That's, there is no right time in life. We only have time. So if there's something you'd like to share, I don't want to miss this opportunity. Even something small, you're welcome to come up and share that with us. I believe we have our number one, Cora Yearwood, next.
mom get home, looking at all these things, looking at all these friends, look at all the babies. Just remember, I'm your favorite. Number one, uncle. My feet out yet. Feet out great. When you see, as I saw last week, the family surrounding mom. See, on January 6th, 1948, I was the first one to see my mom, and the first to call her mom. And over those years, it's been my privilege to watch her walk this earth and be a mother to so many. I can remember when I was about 16, I came home and there was 5 children in the living room. And I'd say, hey, Mom, what's going on? She's their mother and father need some help for a while. And 4 months later is when the children left. Went back to her mom and dad. Okay? It seemed like that's how it was. I came back from the service after spending 6 months in California, and I came home. There's children in my bedroom. I said, Mom, you rented out my space? Stay around? She's, oh, I put some curtain walls up in the basement for you. And Lonnie, Mom picked me up from the airport one time. Atlanta. When we got to Tacoma, I knew God's hand was on us. Because that was a speedy route. Somewhere along the way, I learned this with Peter. But somewhere along the way, I picked up the song. And every time Mom called me in church, she'd want me to sing it. The last time she asked me to sing it, I chickened out. Because my voice is kind of like a cat with its tail pocket open. So, the Lord help me here.
Will help.
I'll read this. But it's been a song that has been with me for over 6 decades. It's in the garden. Each of us, when we travel this road that God has given us, when the day comes, it won't be as a group. It will be as an individual. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. Valentine's Day, 2017. We were back in Illinois, and I got up in the morning. Before I put my hearing aids in, I was going to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and get ready for the day. As I trekked past the threshold, the reason I mentioned hearing aids, so I know it wasn't something electronic coming through my ear. Curtis. And over the years, I shortened my name to Kurt. Dad and Mom have always called me Curtis. And the voice I recognized. Dad said, Curtis, in the garden. My mom is with my dad and my two sisters in the garden. As Mom would say, God bless each and every one. And may His presence guide you. God bless.
Thank you. The Rogers had graciously agreed to sing one of my mom's favorite songs. Just wanted to give you a little background before they do on the song. I remember almost every week her singing Lily of the Valley. Pay attention to the words. It's very emotional for me to hear it. And I hope you enjoyed it, certainly as much as I have all these years.
All alone and broken hearted, trying to calm the raging battle in my mind. Searched for many answers, my troubled heart couldn't seem to find. And I saw a flower blooming, but there was no ray of sunshine. I knew that this flower would change the rest of my life. Found the lily in my valley. I found strength when I was worn. Found a place to lay my burdens. I found refuge from the storm. Place where I could trade my dark skies for beaming rays of sunshine. Found the lily in my valley, and it blooms all the time. All alone and broken heart, trying to calm the raging battles in my mind. I searched for many answers, my troubled heart just couldn't seem to find. And then I saw a flower blooming where there was no rain or sunshine. And I knew that this flower would change the rest of my life. I found the lily in my valley. I found strength when I was worn. I found a place to leave my burdens. I found refuge from
hard to say goodbye. Be kind to each other, be compassionate, carry on. Like I said, never be afraid. Tell someone you love them. We'll be having a private internment with the family at my mom's church. I just want to say thank you. We love